Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, Raphael Tuju was on an interview with Jeff Koinange at Citizen TV. And during that interview, Tuju made very strong allegation about the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. And according to Tuju, William Samoei Ruto was paid money as a condition to support President Uhuru Kenyatta. He insists that Ruto gave a condition to the president to pay him good amount of money in billions in order for William Ruto to support him in 2013. And Jeff Koinange went further to caution Tuju, if really he's just using this opportunity to tarnish the name of William Ruto and injure his reputation. But then Tuju even went further to insist that William Samoei Ruto, the deputy president, has no reputation in this country. Because now he even now went further to talk about the issue of Muteshi land, he talked about the issue of Western Hotel, he talked about the issue of the pipeline, Ngong Road, he talked about the issue of Taita Taveta land, he talked about the issue of the Kimaror and Aror Dam, he brought in the issue of the Uhuru Gardens, so many things he mentioned, tying it to William Samoei Ruto as a man of interest in it. So I wanted to listen to Raphael Tuju. It's about 3 minutes, and after that we want to understand why Tuju is bringing this issue merely 10 days, is it 10 or 9? 10 days to the next general election. Listen to him shortly.
Well, these are demands for payment which he didn't only make on TNA that time, but he made them on ODM previously. So there's nothing new about that.
So how much, who made the payments?
Well, a lot of people who supported President Uhuru went out of their way to collect this money and to make Ruto come on board.
Do we know how much?
Well, you know, for a man who says 7 billion is only, your guess is as good as mine, but it was in billions.
It was in the billions?
Yes. And that's nothing surprising. I mean, we have a very senior politician from Western Kenya who asked Right Honorable railaodinga for 900 million before he could give him support. It's almost in the public domain. So that is the currency of some of these politicians, and Ruto is one of them.
Tell me something. This payment was in return for what?
Well, they would clothe it in various ways, like I need that money so that I can go and convince my community or I can convince my constituency. But it was colossal amounts of money. It was like the upfront payment. Then the final payment is through grabbing certain ministries, making sure that finance, making sure that agriculture, making sure that infrastructure. If he didn't have the minister, he had the permanent secretaries. And then he went on a looting spree.
The question everybody would be asking right now, the obvious question is, why come out now and tell us this?
It is 12 days to an election, and Kenyans need to know the truth.
And the truth, once again, is William Ruto was paid to support Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes, and I don't know why he thinks that the people from central Mount Kenya area owe him anything, because he was paid off. It was conditional on him receiving this money in advance, and after that, getting certain key ministries, which is okay if he ran them properly, but he made sure that he was in a looting spree, that's all.
And how do we know this is not just sour grapes? You know, you're out to destroy the reputation of Deputy President. How do we know this?
Well, does he have a reputation? I mean, you just have to look at the Muteshi land, Western Hotel, Kenya Pipeline land, Ngong Road, Taveta Critical land, Aror Kimarer, where he talks about only 7 billion lost, Uhuru Gardens, which everybody knows, he was occupying it. So I don't know what reputation you have to talk about Ruto, really. And in fact, I'm even wondering why I made this statement sometime early this morning, and everybody was saying, is it true, is it true? I mean, is it beyond Ruto to do those kind of things, given what he has done in this country?
And the other question people will be asking is, what kind of evidence do you have? What kind of evidence do you have? Do you have hard evidence?
Yes, if it is necessary for me to repeat this in a court of law, I will, because I know I have the evidence. And it is not only me who has the evidence. Do find out from a lot of people in our circles. They'll tell you that there was no way Ruto was going to give anything for free.
And who actually made the payment? Do we know? You said there were well-wishers, right?
Yeah, well-wishers, people around, good supporters of President Kenyatta, who negotiated the deal for him to be able to support President Kenyatta. It wasn't for free.
The president was also part of the payment? Did he pay him as well?
Well, I won't talk on behalf of the president. You can ask him.
Those are some serious allegations, with 12 days to the elections, huh?
Well, I think that it's not out of character. It's not out of character. I mean, look at the kind of things that he did. I mean, the moment the handshake took place, many of us in government breathed a sigh of relief, because previous to that, he was always blackmailing the president. He was controlling parliament through Duale, and of course, the speakers were on his side. The speakers were on his side. Am I lying? Those speakers are now in UDA.
Now, what is the intention of Raphael Tuju allegation barely 10 days to the next general election? I'm waiting for your view. And I want to give my view here, but before we go deep into that, just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you have not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our returning subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, before I give my views, let us check on Professor Mutahi Ngunyi remarks as far as Raphael Tuju interview is concerned. This is what Professor Mutahi Ngunyi tweeted. Dear Kikuyus, Tuju said that Kikuyus paid the debt to Ruto. Was it 2 billion or 5 billion? Do not joke with billions. If a Kikuyu counted 1 billion shillings when they are 6 years old, they will finish counting when they are 34 years. Is this the debt they paid? Is Ruto a con man? That is Mutahi Ngunyi. Seemingly, according to Raphael Tuju allegation, tying it to what Ruto was referring to as 7 billion as merely little amount of money, the suggestion could be that Ruto was paid in huge lump sum of money going to billions. So, what is the intention here? Number one, the Azimio side understand that William Ruto is one man who has mastered the art of always tapping into sympathy. He knows how to play the victim role. He has been using it every time. And yes, to some extent, it has been working in his interest. So, Raphael Tuju is coming with this allegation just to make sure that he's demystifying that abuse or misuse of sympathy from William Ruto. What Ruto has always said was that, yes, Uhuru was supposed to support him, yani yangu 10, ya Ruto 10. But then Uhuru refused to support him. So what he's asking for Uhuru as of now is to keep off the politics and let him face railaodinga. That's what Ruto has been saying in all of his campaign. So the first thing Raphael Tuju is putting open here, I'm just looking into the politics issue. I'm not saying Ruto was paid money. For me, I'm looking into politics. The issue is that Raphael Tuju wants to tell Kenyans that Ruto was paid to support Uhuru Kenyatta. So it is nothing to do with the issue of, oh, it was Uhuru to again support William Samoei Ruto. That means Ruto is not paying the money Uhuru gave him in order for Uhuru to support him. So Kenyans should not sympathize with such a person who insists on payments before he supports Uhuru Kenyatta. That is the message. Now, number one, Raphael Tuju is addressing the Kikuyu community in this country. I'm talking about the people of Mount Kenya region. I know they're not only Kikuyus. So the larger Mount Kenya region. That is the first constituency Raphael Tuju is looking to. We have people who are just voting for William Ruto, not because he is a good leader, not because Ruto has a plan to maybe lead this country in a better way than how Uhuru has done it. They are only voting for William Samoei Ruto because of sympathy. They are sympathizing with Ruto because of how they are feeling that Uhuru is betraying William Ruto. So the first thing Raphael Tuju is telling the Mount Kenya region, that there is nothing they need to sympathize with William Ruto because Ruto was paid to support President Uhuru Kenyatta. The second constituency Raphael Tuju is addressing is the undecided. Now this is all over the country, across the country. The undecided people might just decide to support William Samoei Ruto because they are feeling that Uhuru, to some extent, he betrayed him by not supporting him, by just going the opposite side to support their opponent, railaodinga. That is the constituency Raphael Tuju is reaching out to paint the real color of William Samoei Ruto as a man who insists on proxy of payments for him to support Uhuru Kenyatta. So there is nothing like they need to sympathize with such a person. That's the message they are sending to the electorate. To see William Ruto as a man who is in political business. Not as a leader who is looking for power to govern the country. He is in business of politics. So Raphael Tuju is reaching out to the undecided. Why did Raphael Tuju went further to talk about the issue of Muteshi land, the issue of Western Hotel, the issue of Uhuru Gardens, which was recovered by Uhuru akajenga kule now is a museum, the Aror and Kimaror, the Taita Taveta land? Why did Tuju mention this when he came here to just expose William Ruto on how he received money to support Uhuru Kenyatta? 10 days to election. Raphael Tuju is telling the nation that William Ruto is a corrupt individual. That's another message he was sending through this interview. Because Jeff Konanga is telling him, are you using this time just to injure the reputation of William Ruto? But then he again went further to mention other things, just to make sure that he is really doing an injury if it means to injure the reputation of William Samoei Ruto. So Tuju is telling the nation that William Ruto is corrupt and he used every means possible to get money where necessary. Even before supporting Uhuru, he took money. And now getting to the government, even he went further to use the National Assembly Speaker, the Senate Speaker, and the Majority Leader, Aden Duale, to blackmail President Uhuru Kenyatta. What Raphael Tuju is telling Kenyans is that there was state capture. William Ruto managed to put President Uhuru Kenyatta in hostility. He captured the state during that regime until when the handshake came in is when President Uhuru Kenyatta had a chance to breathe. So that is what Raphael Tuju was looking to. There are so many other things, but I'm leaving it for you to mention in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening to me up this far. May good God bless you and see you in our next video.